Hey there, what is up my bodyweight warriors? Welcome back to another video. Today, because it's been requested by a lot of the people in the comment section, I'm going to be taking you through a workout, and this is going to be the start of the training vlogs where I detail exactly what I'm doing in each session and hopefully it gives you some insight into what I'm focusing on. I did mean to do this a lot sooner, but due to injuries such as the supraspinator and elbows, training has been a bit boring lately. However, I've got a few interesting goals which I want to share. I want to prove that you can be strong and mobile, and that's really what I'm focusing on when it comes to training. You don't want to just be stretchy, loose, and have no control of your limbs. You want to be mobile, agile, strong, powerful, etc. I did a post on Instagram, which I'll link down below, but essentially I'm focusing on achieving 3 main lower body mobility patterns: middle splits, front splits, pancake, and I want them to be full range of motion. At the same time, I'm also going to achieve double body weight deadlift and body weight front squat. Well, that's at least the plan. I haven't actually deadlifted for well over 2 years consistently anyway, and so I've had it in the training for the past 2 weeks, so I'm kind of building up in weight, and then hopefully 4 weeks time is the goal to achieve middle splits, pancake, front splits, double body weight deadlift, body weight squat. By the way, I haven't just gone off body weight training completely. I'm kind of just not able to do it at the moment, so just taking a temporary leave of absence before getting back on the body weight hype. Enjoy the vlog. Jumping straight into the workout with the warm-up. This is one of my favourite warm-ups for lower body. Initially it is just FRC hip cars, and I'm doing it in a quadruped position, and you're basically just moving the joint through full range of motion underneath control, and that's really the key here, focusing on activating all of those muscles, gaining awareness and a little bit of mobility in the hips. Just doing 2 reps through both directions on each side, and then I finished up with some quadruped kind of multifidus activation as well, just to kind of get all the stabilization going before I jump into the session for deadlifts. If you don't know, I have been a powerlifter in the past. I've done Olympic lifting, previously had a 195 kg deadlift, so that was a bit over 2 times body weight. Never quite got the 200, but it's been definitely 3-4 years since that point, so I'm now just working back up towards it. Today I'm working 120 and then 125 kg for 7, and that is at a body weight of 85. So it's nothing crazy, nothing stupidly strong, but I'm starting up slow. I've been progressively building over the past couple of weeks, and the goal is to hit 170 for 1 rep in 4 weeks time, which I think is pretty achievable. I was pairing deadlifts with these kind of kneeling jump explosive things. I don't really know what to call them as an exercise, but they're just good for gaining a bit of speed and coordination in the legs. Again, speed is one of my sort of weaknesses when it comes to my lower body, so that is just kind of one thing I was working on, being more explosive. Then jumping into some calf work. No, I'm not doing this for aesthetics. My calves have never been big. I don't think they'll ever be big, but having strong calves and calves that are functional is actually really important and plays a big role in leg training. So these are just some standard body weight single leg eccentrics. I'm looking to accumulate about 60 seconds total time and attention using just the negatives. And then I was pairing that with some single leg, one-legged balances. And the key here is closing the eyes and making all those little muscles in the ankle firing. This is actually sped up by about 300-400% as well. Then that is basically the leg session done. From here I moved on to my rehab for the moment. With the shoulder, I'm just doing some banded shoulder rotation work, strengthening those internal and external rotator muscles, gaining back full range of motion. I'm then also doing some heavy slow resistance training. So this is basically gradually building up load and the capability of the muscle over time, and you're performing these with a kind of 3-second eccentric and concentric tempo. So it's a very slow, controlled movement, focusing on muscle synchronization and you're basically trying to load up more and more and more. This is something that I did for my golfer's elbow as well, about 3 times a week, and it really did help. I'm slowly working on push-ups, working on getting to the ground. Originally I started just standing the wall, so this is now almost 4 weeks into the injury. The final movement that I'm using in the rehab for this shoulder are these reverse support extensions. So basically you're going from a supported L-sit position and pressing into a reverse support. So really focusing on shoulder extension, retraction, general scapular strength, and also brings in a nice lower body, lower back coordination as well. It's a great exercise if you're wielding towards the L-sit or just looking to build up your shoulder extension. Then finally moving on to some elbow rehab, and although my elbow tendonitis is pretty much done, it's 90% healed, I don't really get pain, I'm still continuing to strengthen because I don't want this injury to come back. So I'm doing these reverse curls that you see here. Again, that nice slow tempo, that heavy slow resistance training, like I mentioned on the push-ups. And then I'm also combining it with these hammer rotations sort of things, which is working specifically the pronator teres. And again, that nice 3-0-3 tempo. And this one, I'm just loading up, and it's, you know, I used to get a lot of pain doing this when I initially did it. Now I can do this, and this is a relatively heavy resistance, no pain, feels good. This exercise has been crucial for my elbow recovery. Finally finishing up the workout with some mobility, and this is a middle split day. So what I'm doing is I start off with a couple of sets of the loaded isometrics, similar to what I had in the original middle split routine. So I'll basically just go down, and then every sort of 5 seconds or so I'll really engage the adductors, hold for a few seconds, and then try and sink down a little bit deeper. This is the first set, so this is kind of where I'm at cold, with very minimal warm-up, and then I basically went to supported and then did some PNF. So I did 2 sets of the loaded, and then I jumped into some PNF work I describe in my middle split PNF routine, which uses the pissing dog exercise, which is from Emmett Lewis, just working on glute med activation, and then through reciprocal inhibition, it helps to open up those hips, doing 2 sets, 10 seconds each side, and then jumping straight into the middle split PNF. And I thought I would just show you this exercise, or this final set. This is the 4th set, and I'll show you it raw because this is actually my best middle split attempt for ever, I think this is the best one ever. Basically, I sink down, trying to stay with my body parallel to the ground. This is going to focus more on the adductors. I did a couple of reps of PNF on the adductors, so basically trying to push the legs in, then relax and go a little bit deeper. And then what I did was I stood up, trying to go through max range of motion, and then simply trying to hold that position, breathe, relax, embrace the suck, and kind of get used to that position. And this was probably the best that has been ever. So very, very close, inching towards that goal. Again, 4 weeks to achieve that one as well. But that is the workout, guys. But that is it for today's session, guys. Deadlifts and middle splits. In fact, that was actually a middle split PB. Very, very, very close to full balls to the floor middle split. So keep pushing with that. 4 sets seems to do the trick. Full workout is in the description down below. So if you want to join me on this strength and mobility 4-week challenge, then leave a comment down below, tag me on Instagram, let me know what you're up to. All the freaking cars. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, support the channel. If you have any questions, any comments, whatever you want to talk about, leave a comment down below. But that is it for this week, guys. Have a strong and stretchy week. Peace.